I'm Barry Funkhauser, and this is the Barry Funkhauser Show. Here's what's going on. Elon Musk is back in the news again. He broke an undesirable Guinness World Record. Celine Dion fans have been protesting at Rolling Stone headquarters for some odd reason. And U.S. farmers win the right to repair John Deere equipment. As always, I'm here with my co-host and general know-it-all current events guy, Frozen Joe. You're not frozen anymore. You're probably covered in wetness from the rain. Is that right?
Yes, I am in my my life preserver right now. I am floating away as all of the streets in Los Angeles are completely flooded. Completely flooded. Like, you should see Ventura Boulevard right now. It is like you need a canoe to get down. It is that bad.
Does the rain make you in a better mood, or does it put you in a somber place? For me, it's the opposite of what people say. When the storm clouds come in, I get a little warmer and cozier inside, and it makes me happier. What about you? Does a stormy day bum you out?
I appreciate the rain and I understand that we need it to survive, but no, I don't like the rain. I don't like it when it's I like it when it's every now and then, but it's been a weird 3 to 4 weeks for Southern California. We don't get storms like this that just like roll on through. Like every 4 days there's a new storm. This is like Seattle or Portland kind of stuff. And I can understand why people up there are miserable human beings, because I haven't seen the sun, like legit seen the sun for weeks now. And it bums me out. It really does. I need the sun. I need the sun, Barry.
Okay. Well, me, on the other hand, am having a glorious year because you should see the size of my onions.
But that's the only thing that's growing, right? Because everything else is waterlogged.
Yeah, well, I got some broccoli in there, and the greenhouse is still blasting. I got some little sproutsies in there, but chickens are eating well now that eggs are costing $7 a dozen. I feel like a genius because I don't buy any eggs. It's been a very tasty Funkhauser household.
This is why we're still only middle class.
Yes.
Because of all the eggs that we buy. I get it now.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get into the news today. Elon Musk has secured a world record for the largest loss of personal fortune in history. Guinness World Records claimed last week in a blog post. The global organization, which keeps track of a huge variety of records, cited Forbes' estimate that Musk has lost around $182 billion since November 2021, but noted that the other sources indicate the figure is closer to $200 billion. While the true figure is unclear, Elon's losses appear to easily surpass those of the previous record holder, this Japanese guy, Masayoshi Son, who lost $58 billion in 2000. See, Forbes reported that Elon's net worth dropped from $320 billion in November to $137 billion last week. They said its steep decline in net worth is because he shared a bunch of Tesla stock, and he's still is the largest shareholder, but it's not looking good. Forbes reported that the drop occurred almost entirely after he took over Twitter. And he sold $7 billion worth of Tesla stock last week, or over the last few months, as he was trying to finance this deal. And he just sold another $3 billion worth of stock last month. He said he would never sell stock, but here he is doing it. He lost his status as the world's wealthiest person as a result of Tesla's collapsing shares being surpassed by this French fashion guy, Bernard Arnault. So congratulations, Bernie, for being the richest guy now.
Sorry, you pronounce this guy's name right.
Bernard
Arnault.
Arnault.
Do you even know who this guy is?
No, who is this guy? He probably owns fashion brands like
Louis Vuitton.
Okay,
he's the Louis Vuitton guy.
Isn't that fascinating that the richest person in the world sells handbags?
Well, it's more than just handbags, but it is interesting that it is like someone who does fashion and cosmetics. You wouldn't think, but man, that's $200 billion. That could have solved a lot of problems in the world. Lot of problems in the world. Remember when Elon Musk last year said, "Hey, just let me at it and I'll solve global hunger." You know what? He estimated solving global hunger at 65 billion. He could have solved global hunger 3 times over. All he had to do, not by Twitter. And he could have been the savior of the earth. And now instead he is the pariah of tech.
He could have still bought Twitter and then donated it to something like some reputable news organization.
Reputable?
He could have done
You mean reputable?
reputable.
Reputable.
Yeah.
Reputable.
So anything could have happened, but we're playing the coulda, shoulda, woulda game with Elon, and he should have thought of this before. He should have, if I ever become a billionaire, if I ever have more than, whenever I have positive money in my bank account,
So you were gonna say whenever I have more than $10.
you got to think about the end game. It's like, what are you going to say at the end of whatever you're doing? Like, if you're going on this journey of doing stuff financially, you got to think about what you want to say at the end of it. That will kind of orchestrate how it goes, in my opinion. So if I had a bunch of money and I was planning on like buying Twitter, I would think about what I wanted to say afterwards, like after that happened, to try to orchestrate my adventure a little bit more appropriately instead of just flipping and doing all these wild things on a whim.
Oh, sure, but then you're attributing like being an adult to Elon Musk, and we have all figured out that he doesn't have cognitive reasoning like that. He doesn't think 5 steps ahead like he should be as a CEO of major corporations. He's very reactionary. So I don't believe in all of these pundits saying that he's playing 3-dimensional chess. It's the same thing. All these same pundits were saying the same thing about Trump and his political acumen. And that's been proven to be false. So I do not think that Elon Musk is very smart. He is smart in some ways, but honestly, he's not a great businessman. You are not a great businessman and lose $200 billion. It just that is the opposite of being a good businessman. Like you said, he should have had a plan in place as far as what his end game with Twitter is going to be, and we still don't know. He just bought it, like I said, he bought it as on a whim. No, I don't even think he knows. I think he wants to try to turn it into TikTok or kind of integrate some kind of payment platform into this. But honestly, no one asked for this. There's already all these other things that people are using that work perfectly well and are integrated into everything anyone's using right now anyway. I don't see how he turns this around. I just don't.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, but we'll see. I mean, it's the ongoing, 1,000-mile journey of Elon. Every day is a new adventure, right?
And you're making my terrific Tuesday terrible because of Twitter.
I can't help it, man. It's going to happen a lot until it blows up completely, till it's all over.
I know. We got to keep talking about the news.
Keep the spotlight on that Twitter until it flushes,
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm going to do.
It's still above water. Let's keep flushing. All right. Today's show is brought to you by
Mint Mobile, providing premium wireless service on the nation's largest 5G network, but for way less than what big wireless companies charge. Here's a resolution you're going to want to keep. From now until January 15th, you'll get 3 months free when you buy any 3-month plan. But this offer won't be around much longer, so don't drop the ball. Mint Mobile, premium wireless for $15 a month. Switch to Mint Mobile and stop spending so much on your wireless plan. Use our referral link to get $15 in renewal credit.
All right, more news. A group of avid Celine Dion fans gathered outside of Rolling Stone headquarters in Midtown Manhattan last week, protesting the magazine for excluding the 5-time Grammy Award-winning diva from its 200 Greatest Singers of All Time list. Video shared online, protesters chanting and singing songs outside the headquarters, carrying signs with messages saying, "How could you forget Celine?" And "Rolling Stone, you've hit an iceberg." The list, which was released on New Year's Day, has caused plenty of social media uproar over its placement or exclusion of big industry names, most notably Celine Dion. Rolling Stone kicked off the list with a disclaimer saying, "This is the greatest singers list, not the greatest voices list." Well, excuse me. Boy,
Wow, how pretentious is that?
you don't want to piss off Celine Dion fans, though. I mean, come on, you're playing with fire there, don't you think?
I think so, but this list is terrible. Rolling Stone. Wow, you have really gone downhill. Okay, because this is supposed to be the greatest of all time, right? Of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How is okay, Billie Eilish, how is she on this list? She has like 2 albums, maybe? How are we considering this new artist to be one of the greatest singers of all time? And I'm not trying to take away from Billie Eilish. Her and her brother are very talented. They make some good songs. It's not really my thing, but I don't understand how someone like this makes this list.
Well, I mean, I think to give Billie Eilish some credit, she is a full album listen. You got to really tune in from front to back and then you'd probably like it.
No,
but
sure, but this is the 200th greatest singers of all time, and then you're telling me it's the greatest singers, not the greatest voices? What does that even mean, Rolling Stone? Like, is that you just trying to like CYA because you forgot Celine? And then you're telling me that she's not one of the greatest voices? If you want to like differentiate, she's not one of the greatest voices. She is everywhere. Still, to this day, you cannot listen to adult contemporary radio anywhere in the United States and not hear a Celine Dion song within an hour. You can't.
Yeah.
It's impossible. And you're telling me that that's not good.
Isn't she retiring also this year because she can't hit those octaves? Something's going on with her, and she's hanging it up. So
yes, that is correct.
It would have been apropos to put her in here at this point in time and not snub her, wouldn't you think? But I think it's because Rolling Stone, a few years ago, they changed hands, and now they're owned by some really sleazy magazine company. And
they are, huh?
Yeah, so you always got to look at those with the grain of salt because they're just, they're capitalizing on an old brand. Who knows?
Right.
Like
here's my thing. Like you know me. I love me some Nirvana, right? Like I have a Nirvana quote tattooed on my body. That's how much I love Nirvana. Kurt Cobain is not the 36th greatest singer of all time. I'm sorry. It's just not possible. He, even while he was alive, said that he didn't have a great singing voice. That singing wasn't the point of Nirvana. So how do you have him at 36? Rolling Stone, this is just not okay.
I think they just made how some people just want to watch the world burn. And I think
I can
these people made this list so that we would be angry about it. Just for that reason alone, I think.
Well, I mean, sure. Okay, who do you think that they had at number one? Let's see how good you are at guessing this top 10 at least. Who do you think that Rolling Stone has in their top 10?
Stevie Nicks.
Hold on. I'm still going through. No, but there is a Stevie in the top 10.
There's a Stevie in the top. Man, Lizzo. Lizzo on there?
No, Lizzo's not on here, and Lizzo should not be in the top 10. No, Adele should not be in the top 10. She's a great voice, but no, we're talking the greatest of all time, people. We're talking like over 80 years of recorded music from the modern era. And I'm sorry, I can't give it to someone who has 2 albums.
Yeah.
So anyway, okay. So who is the Stevie in the top 10? It's not Stevie Nicks.
Oh, I have no idea.
Stevie. What artists are named Stevie?
Oh, Stevie Wonder.
There you go. Thank you. He is
I
at
don't know
number
why I didn't see that
7.
one.
Yeah, he is at number 7.
I'll
He
say
beats
that one more
out.
time. I don't know why I didn't see that one.
Stop it.
Oh,
That's a terrible joke. All right.
I
Stevie
just
Wonder
wanted
is at.
you to hear it. That's for sure.
I heard it and I tried to ignore it, but then you had to tell it again, so I can't miss it. And
I don't know why I didn't see it.
Again, my terrific Tuesday is being turned into a terrible Tuesday because of your awful jokes.
Well, this list just bothered me, man. I'm sorry to say.
Because it's a bothersome list. Okay, so Stevie Wonder in the top 10 beats out Al Green, Otis Redding, and Beyonce. Like, I like Beyonce. Is she a top 10 greatest singers of all time? I don't know. I don't know about that. Okay, so now we're getting into so number 6. They went back to back blind pianists. Stevie Wonder at 7 and Ray Charles at 6. Who do you think the top 5 is? They didn't pick Celine at number 5, but it's another diva. Can you guess?
Whitney.
No. What? Who?
Mariah.
Mariah's at number 5. I believe that this should be higher, but Billie Holiday is at 4. Now that is a voice.
Okay.
Billie Holiday is a voice. That is a singer. So that one I get. Sam Cooke at 3. That's a good one. Can you give me the top 2? I'll even give you a hint. They are both female artists.
Oh boy, top 2 female artists of all time. Dolly Parton.
R&B. Dolly Parton was like in the hundreds, man.
R&B.
No, actually, she was like in the 40s.
Janet Jackson. Aretha
Nope.
Franklin.
Oh, Aretha's at number 1.
That's okay. And then we got to find number 2 after Aretha.
Yeah.
Is it like no, you said R&B.
Barry, I will always love you.
I said Whitney earlier.
Yeah, but you didn't say it for number 2. Yes, she's number 2.
Oh. Okay.
So I don't know. No, I don't know. This
whatever.
list.
You know what I use Rolling Stone for? Kindling. Okay. That's the best use for that magazine.
And they used to be good. They used to be good. That's a really bad insult. They used to be good.
Yeah. All right. Well, this final story, this is a big one. Okay. So follow along at home, please. Previously, farmers were only allowed to use authorized parts and service facilities rather than cheaper independent repair options when they had to repair their tractors and whatnot. Well, Deere and Company, John Deere, is one of the world's largest makers of farming equipment, and consumer groups have for years been calling on companies to allow their customers to be able to fix everything from smartphones to tractors. And the American Farm Bureau the American Farm Bureau Federation and Deere and Company just signed a memorandum of understanding on Sunday. Now, here's more on the story, and I have something to say about this. Listen.
Whether it's seeding or harvest or anything in between, time is literally money in agriculture. And if you have a piece of equipment to break down, you cannot get it fixed in a timely basis. And by the way, many people have the same equipment and the equipment does break down. Then it puts you at a real loss and you lose income because of that.
It's the issue Tester is tackling with the Agriculture Right to Repair Act. The problem where major companies like John Deere are locking down equipment and software so it can be only fixed by a dealer. That's forcing many farmers to stick with the older equipment they can fix.
So I've got a combine that's relatively new to me, but I got to thinking about it. It's 15 years old, and it doesn't have a lot of this stuff on it that the new combines have. And even if I had the dough to trade it off and get a new one, I'm not sure I would, because I can fix this combine if something goes wrong with it.
Tester says his bill, focusing specifically on farm machinery, attempts to find a balance between convenience and the company's need for product control.
There's always going to be plenty of work for mechanics in these dealerships to do. All we're asking is that the manufacturers give us some documentation, give us some software, so that we can deal with our ability to repair and maintain our equipment.
And he believes that's critical, especially in smaller towns that lost local dealerships. Is there some feeling too of sort of enabling those smaller shops or those, if you will, shade tree mechanics to be able to do that emergency fix too?
Absolutely. And I will tell you that a lot of those mechanics that are out there in those small towns that are working as independents do a great job, and they can do it in a timely job, and they don't have to drive 100 miles to get to your place. They're much closer. And so all that saves money, saves time, and makes your operation more efficient. Ultimately, what this does, Dennis, if we don't do something like this, is it further consolidates agriculture, and it makes our food chain less dependable.
Okay, here's my beef with this story, okay? A memorandum of understanding is not at all the Freedom to Repair Act. This is a balk that Deere and Company is doing to try to get this act not passed. They're trying to solve the problem before it gets, but it's already too late. It's already at the state where it's about to be passed. So I'm side-eyeing this whole thing, man. Can you imagine being a farmer and you can't fix your stuff unless you have to pay a premium and go to the dealer for it? And if you do, you void your warranty, and it's a terrible thing.
Yeah, the right to repair has been an issue maybe 10 dozen years, maybe a little bit longer, since the advent of everything being computerized. I think that's when it got locked down. Everybody's locking down their software so you can't repair it. But I get it. I think that I like the right to repair bill. I understand companies need to keep control of their product ecosystem a little bit, but man, you got to open it up a little bit, because sometimes, especially in an issue like this, it's one thing to say to have a right to repair for your smartphone, but the smartphone isn't necessary to.
I don't even understand that. You're saying you got to go to the manufacturer to fix everything. I don't think that's right. I think that's putting what he said, shade tree, people that fix stuff out of business, the mom and pop stuff, have you ever tried to go to the Apple store and try to fix anything? Get out of here with that. You got to make an appointment 4 days ahead, deal with loud people yelling. It's not good.
Well, I mean, sure, but we're talking about farm equipment, and I understand it's a difficult situation. What I am saying is that for things that are much more reliant on the functioning of society, we might want to open it up a little more, because John Deere is extraordinarily restrictive about what someone can do to a tractor that they own. And that's where we're getting into some issues. It's basically John Deere is yeah, you own it, but you don't own your tractor. Because if you touch anything on it, you void the warranty and we're not going to work on it ever again. So you're on your own after that. I don't really believe in that, because I don't think that is a good solution. And like Senator Tester was saying, sometimes the only licensed repair dealer is 100 miles away. How are you going to, then you got to pay for the expense of hauling your huge tractor on the back of a semi 100 miles just to get it fixed. Then you got to pay for all the transportation back. Then you're losing all of the money in the 2 weeks it probably takes for them to fix it, because there's such a backlog. I get it. A farmer is going to, you have 3 months maybe to harvest your summer crop? What happens if your biggest combine is out for a month? All that food's going to go. It's all going to get wasted. It's all going to spoil in the field.
Or you got to rent one at a way high price.
Right. And then you're blowing out your profit margin. So we got to find a better solution. It's this all or nothing that we've gotten into with, laws, regulation, who owns what, who can fix what. We got to get more into the grays. Life is a gray area. It's not black and white. We want all these laws to reflect. It doesn't work that way. We need to have more flexibility when it comes to especially issues like this, issues like right to repair. We need more flexibility to make to get things done fast. We live in a fast-paced society. We need things. If something gets broken, we need it fixed now.
Yeah, well, hey man, if this law gets passed, the Right to Repair Act, then we're all good to go. But this is a move by Deere and Company to try to, memorandum of understanding. Okay, sure.
That is definitely a delay tactic. They're trying. Yeah, they are trying to hold on to this monopoly that they have for repair.
It's a sneaky operation there.
It is a sneaky operation.
Taking advantage of the good old crop farmer duster guys there.
Hey, you're old enough still to kind of remember the days when all cars and big tractors and things, everything was just mechanized but not computerized, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you ever that's why a lot of people hold on to their older cars. If my current car breaks down, I have a hybrid. If my current car breaks down, I have no idea how to fix it. Zero idea of how to fix it. If this was a 1970s Superbug or Super Beetle, I could crack open the back hood. I can get in there. I don't know a ton about it, but I know enough that I can okay, let's see. Is it the carburetor? Is it the manifold? Is it this? Is it that? Is it the pump? Let me check some of these hoses. I was able to go into old machines like that and kind of figure out what was going on. I popped the hood on my hybrid and I'm like, well, that's a big battery. What is this? I have no idea what this. What's this computer board doing over here? I can't fix that at all. If I break down in the middle of the desert, I'm broken down. I can't fix it.
Yeah, and I know it's not a term of being stupid. It doesn't make it, but I feel so dumb, when it's simple, and my buddy has one of them things you plug in the car and then it'll give you the code of what's wrong.
The diagnostics reader.
And then it gives you a 6-digit code. You Google it and it tells you what's wrong. And even then I can't figure it out. It's like, oh, I get lost in the weeds again. So, but all of this should be easier. We should be able to rely on our mechanics, our local mechanics, to be able to fix the job without bureaucracy in the way or some, warranty that shouldn't have been in there in the first place. It's just that the whole thing is just silly. I just want corn. Can I please get corn?
I just want corn.
Yeah.
Oh man. No, I get it. I used to when I had my old Hondas, I had a great local mechanic, a Honda car specialist. And I never took it to the dealer. I just took it to this guy. He was like half the price and he did way better work than the dealer does. Way better work. So I get it. These guys, these indie repair shops are great. They're really, really good at what they do. So come on, John Deere, open it up. Open it up. Let just help out farmers. Farmers have it tough enough as it is. So just help them out and stop trying to nickel and dime them for every little repair.
Yeah, come on, man. Hopefully we won't have to cover any bummer news about farmers for a while.
No, stop being the man. Just be a man. Jeez.
Just be a man. All right, that's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow. This is the Barry Funkhauser Show.